I got to a place and I said, you know what, the way things are going, I don't like them. And it's as if people are not understanding what I'm going through. So the Lord charged me to take a prayer and fasting. I remember I took a prayer for 21 days, dry prayer, without food, without water. And where we would stay, the houses were these box houses on top, where you'd have that top part where people can hang clothes and everything. So I had the key of that place. So I would never leave that place. If it's morning, people would find me seated. They think I just came there in the morning, but I had spent the whole night there. When it's night, I sleep there. I was determined. It was raining. To a point one day, my wife called my mother, told my mother that please talk to your boy. This man is going to die, but I was determined. Remember, I told my wife, if it will be written that I died, let it be known I died here. It is better to die here. But I will not leave this place until the Lord speaks to my heart. Not to my ears, my heart. On the 19th day, I will never forget, my body had broken completely. There was no strength left. I knew if I would continue, it is either God will come or I will die. But I knew my body had gotten to a place, it cannot go any further. But that hunger for God was more than the hunger of food. It's something I can't really explain much. So came back on the 19th day. I remember as we were coming down, I saw something that amazed me. Went for prayer. That night there were 2 steps, not feet. I didn't see feet. I saw the steps, the prints of that feet. They were walking, and they walked to the wall. It's amazing. I can't really explain. I don't take time to share templates that are mine. I came to realize that there are things God will show you for people, and then there are things God will show you for you to grow you and mature you. So I saw the prints walking, but they ended up to a wall. I interpreted it as if, we still have a wall to break. We still have what? Came back, it was 10:30. I'll never forget. Prayed at around 12:30 midnight. The prints came back again. They were dark black in color. They were walking. This time, they walked to the, what you call a drum. When you live on those box houses, they normally put those tanks on top of the house. Walked to that drum. When they got to the drum, they were 2 walking this way. They disappeared. So when we got there to the tank, I saw, and I remember when I was peeping on the tanks, I peeped in. The voice clearly told me, life has come. I started glorifying God. Came down. In the process of coming down, the voice of God told me, add another, and add more time. I want to talk to you. Oh my God, I had already thought of how I'm going to eat chicken pizza. The Lord told me, wait, go back. I continued in prayer. That night I remember it rained. My wife came up, pleaded with me, please leave this place. I could hear my mother talking on loudspeaker. You know how she would say, my son, this is not the way to seek God. I say, you don't understand. The kind of answers I'm looking for, this is the only way to seek God. I will not live here. Came back, continued praying. A few minutes later, I looked up. It's like a hand made me, I can't really explain. A hand touched my jaw and fashioned my eyes to a specific area. It was a very cloudy concept. But on that cloud, there was an opening. I won't forget, very nice opening. And light was coming from that place. It was night. I tried to find out, is there any aeroplane passing? But there was light emanating from that place. That light was beautiful. The next thing I saw 2 angels. That was my 3rd encounter. I saw 2 angels. What they were dancing is a very unique dance. I cannot really explain. It's like they were happy. I cannot really explain. It is later that I came to read that angels are ministering spirits. It's like they were happy. Now they are going to minister. I couldn't understand. They were dancing a very nice dance. Now for me to know that it was not cartoon, I went and I called my wife. For the first time when I opened the door, my wife opened. She saw me. She could not believe. She ran to take food. I said, I did not come for food. Come. We went up. When my wife got up, she looked up. I knew I was not going crazy. Because at least if I was crazy, this one will take me out of my craziness, my wife. Then, if I'm not, if she agrees and tells me what she sees, because I asked my wife, what do you see? My wife couldn't talk. She was just looking. And I asked, what do you see? Say, I see 2 beings dancing. I knew I was not crazy. I knew the Lord had come to me. I told my wife, God bless you. She went back. I continued to pray on the 21st day. Viluzevina le kopres fiduka baria megenon. Entros fala barine skivalati puru. Mendugadia. Kobeli vatuas temilati govarahamani ya begedons. Arrivani digofensa sikobele mentalia. Scaveleni baria kupeni vaisuze silia megenenton. Arrivania stosha. Arrivania. On that 21st day, I was coming down as if the Lord had already told me it is time to go. As I was starting to leave that place, because I stayed in one place for 21 days. Hey, it got to a point, my feet, it's as if they were... As I was moving, I looked up and I saw something like a box, and that thing was descending gradually to where I was. That part was written. When I went to peep, it's as if I was here, but I had the ability to peep inside. That box was written wealth, but it was in a language. It's not English. I can't really say how that word was. It's a very Hebrew kind of a concept. I can't really say, but it was written wealth. When I saw it, I rejoiced. I remember that night I shouted. I shouted to the Lord. The next morning, because I had already left, it was around 3, went back, took water. When the next morning came, guess what is happening? Shylock are on my doorstep. Hi, God showed me a box of wealth. Shylock are now coming. I had taken a loan and I had given some pastor some money to be able to give me a small tent of like 200 or 300, like 300 people, so I can begin ministry somewhere. We're not talking about far. It's just 2 years ago. I went and I took the loan, and the pastor went with the tent, and we went with the money. I forgave him. So it left me in trouble. These auctioneers came, and I remember in that apartment, people were looking at me, laughing. Ah, my God. They came, they could not want to hear what I said, they took the car. Remember, I've now come from seeing wealth. I've told my wife, wealth. The next morning, wealth is leaving us. So I remember the car went. I say, okay. I had a small phone that I had bought for like $20. That phone was overheating. We had gone somewhere with my brother to take the phone. It was overheating. So the only way for that phone to have charge is to keep it on charge. And if you keep it on charge when you're preaching on Facebook, it would overheat. You couldn't even touch it because the outer part was made of metal. So we sat there. I took the phone, and the Lord had enticed me to start doing those preachings. Live preaching. So I just started doing the preachings, you know. By then we were only 2 views. That view was me and my wife. Then we advanced to 3 views. It was me and my wife and my sister. We advanced to 4 views and 6 views, you know. And one day my wife came and told me, preach to me. I'm the view. I will hear you. But I bless God for my wife. So he continued. Not long later, hey, my God, I did that for like a year. Not long later, I just received a message. Someone sent me a message like, hello. I says, hello. And the Lord had already told me to make sure that I treat everyone equally. Not to value this one because of how they look. This one looks rich. This one, no. The Lord had already warned me. I say, okay. I said, hello. The person told me I'm so and so, and I'm over 80 years of age, because I had already called for 5 days. We would do 5 days prayer, dry prayer and fasting, 3 days dry prayer and fasting, and the thing was growing on Facebook. So the lady told me, I want you to know that I'm so and so from this place. I had never even heard of that place. And at that particular time, I want you to know that every time you're calling for fasting, I am part of those people that fast with you. We fast with you. She didn't say anything else. I say, glory to God. We bless the Lord. We left the whole matter. 3 weeks later, she sent me a message, say, hello, how comes you don't ask for money? Every time I see you preaching, you don't have anything you've put. The Lord had already told me that he will build, that I should never try to do, and I'm not claiming that if you ask for anything is wrong. It was just my template that I should have followed. So I was not really interested in that. The Lord had just told me to go and preach the gospel. At the right time, he will make things happen. So the lady asked me for how to send whatever she was sending. I refused. She got to my wife. My wife later on gave the whole thing. She sent some little money. I remember it was around $6,000. And I was so happy. At that time she sent, I looked at my wife. I told my wife, no, this is not it. This is not the box I saw, because that box I saw, I even knew how much it was going to be. I say, okay, God bless you. I took the little I had, went and removed my car. At least now we had a car by then to be using around. It was a small red VW. Then the rest I had already built in my house. We had moved to a place where the sitting room area, I had made it a church, you know, and now I had given my wife the 2 bedrooms there, and they would do their things there. So the sitting room area was now the place I had done what I had done, you know. So put all the money there, the little that was remaining, we put it there, paid a little bit for my children at that particular moment. Long story short, as I continued to do the thing I was doing, another person said, hello. I said hello, and I could receive many people saying, hi, pray for me. I would pray for them. The person told me, there is this verse I don't understand, please help me. I would take time, like an hour, praying for that person and teaching that person. This is the essence of the word. Be a person of the word. Pray, take fastings, take what? I didn't know. So the lady later on told me, I am so and so, and I'm calling because there's something I need you to help me with. I say, okay, what can I help you with? She had asked, and she told me, before that, please give me an account number that if at any one point I want to deposit $1 or $2, that was the statement, $1 or $2, I can always come. I say, okay, this God did not tell me. So got again that, and she managed to get. 2-3 weeks later from there, I receive a phone call. I say, hello, how are you? We are fine. I'm so and so. I'm calling you as the manager of the bank that you bank with. I say, okay, are you okay? I thought it was this thing where people are called to be conned. This one, in our country, we have a lot of them, where you have won, even things you have not participated in, you win. You know, Tazama, whatever, money, what. So the person told me, we need to see you. I says, okay, let me come. We went. When we got there, they started interrogating me. I didn't understand the interrogation. Started telling me, who are you? I said, this is who I am. Who knows you? They told me to open my Facebook and all those things. I would open. And then the person told me, are you sponsoring anything that is illegal? Are you doing any illegal business? I says, what do you mean I'm doing illegal business? I'm a pastor. I'm a pastor. You can check my social media. I'm a pastor. Is there any problem? He said, you are not aware of anything. I say, no, I'm not aware. The person say, okay. The way you'd go to the teller, and they normally turn the computer if they want you to see something. The person turned the computer. Hey. You know, I had to go and wash my face and came back. I say, is this my account? I can see the name is me, John C. W. But the problem is the balance on that account. I even asked the person, did you confuse and put, please, I don't want problem. That is when they mentioned to me the name of the same person who told me if I want to put $1 or $2. When I went to check, it was exactly what was on the box that I saw. Exactly. Nothing more, nothing less. Exactly what it was. My God. I didn't even know how to come and tell my wife. It is those things that you sleep this way, you wake up that way. There was no process. I didn't understand how to tell people. Because I knew this one, they will now say I'm serving devil. Oh my God, I have never seen such a blessing. Where I come from, I have never seen. So I remember I left at that particular time. They froze my account for 3 weeks. Every time calling me, my phone was tapped by intelligence. They wanted to know who I'm calling. So one day I went to them. I said, please, even if you stop my account, give me the little, just the little that I had. It was like $1,000. Let me just remove that. My children, I need to pay. They said, no, we are freezing. They froze the whole account, sir. So I went back to prayer and I asked God, if you are the one that gave me the box, why did you give me this fight? Then if it's not there, why don't you take it back? The person who had already sent whatever they sent, they called me and I told the person, please recall back. I don't want this problem. Me, I'm not after money. This thing is already now beginning to give me. They say we are not resending it back. They asked me to find out who those people are. I gave them the number. They called those people. Those people told them that we are so and so, we come from this family, we had sold this and this and this, and we wanted to do this for this man of God. They said, do you know him? How can you do that to that person? How can you send it to... They now wanted to sabotage the whole matter. to look as if, I remember someone had sent the person a message that Africans are liars. Hey, I say, okay. I called the person today. I told the person, look, that finance is not mine. I had a dream I saw, a vision I had in the aeroplane. You can keep it, but you will answer to the author of that vision. I left. The next day, they called me. They said, we want you to know we have allowed you to use your account. The day before that night, I had a dream. On that dream, I saw a lady walk up to me. Now, I'm very sensitive not to use angels as ladies or men, but I know what I saw. I cannot tell you it was an angel. Me, what I know, I saw a lady come to me in the dream. That lady was carrying something, and I knew that lady was 65 years. How I know, I don't know. What I knew, she was 65 years, and she was very elderly, but she was so beautiful. But I knew she was 65 years. I cannot explain. The lady came to me with a map. She took the map and opened the map, and she started telling me, come and walk with me. I was in that dream. That night before they opened the account, I speak the truth. That lady came, opened the map, and she began showing me an area of a location whereby there was a city that was to be established, and there was an altar that was to be erected. I saw the map. That lady, the map was bluish, and that lady had no shape, had no color, but she was a lady, very slim faced, very slim faced lady, very beautiful. It's like her body was gown, her body. She was not wearing, her body was the whole gown. She started telling me, this place, there is this and this and this, there is a city we should erect, and in this city, I even saw the buildings, how they would rise. I saw hospitals, I saw schools. I say, okay, this is good. I thought the person was telling me something different in that dream. Then they took me to another place. They say, I want to show you something secretive. Took me to an area, very old place, but there was an altar that was erected. In that altar, that altar was made by iron sheets, and one side it was actually falling off, but the altar was very beautiful. When I entered inside, it was so beautiful. That lady told me this altar was erected, but it was not sustained. This altar was erected, but it was not sustained. I had set up someone here, but they did not stay. I say, okay, so what do I do? They say, I'm calling you here to erect this altar, redo the altar again. I say, okay. We left. When I turned, that person was already walking away. But I cannot, they were not walking normal. But you could see they are here, they are there. There is no time. They are where they want to be. The person was as if they were going away. At that particular moment, I screamed, where is this? And what am I to do with it? The person looked at me and said, coffee plantation. That is the only word I can remember. When the person said that, I woke up. A few minutes later, the call came. They say, we have allowed you to use your account. I knew what was going to happen. I woke up. My wife is my witness. I told my wife, it's a coffee plantation where we should go. It's a coffee plantation. That next morning, I was to take my wife to her parents-in-law. So we were passing somewhere. As we were passing, we noticed a house at the side of the road. And when we were passing, my wife just said, we need to check what is always up there. I told my wife, when we come back, we'll check. We went. As we were coming back, we came back, we passed through that place. When we entered, we had met someone we just met someone on the road. He was standing on the road, and I said, hello, how are you? He said, I'm fine, thank you. We just want to know what is the area here. When you enter the area, it's a controlled environment. When you're on the road, you would think it's a forest. When you enter, it's a very controlled environment. I asked the person, is there a way of getting property here? The person said, yes, there is a way of getting property. I said, okay, if there's a way of getting property, how can we go around it? By that time, we went, we got property, we built what God had allowed us to build, because the Lord had told me that at one point He'll be bringing men of God, and He does not want this location to contain them in a negative manner. So we built a very nice location. Now, anytime a man of God would come, they can be able to take an abode there for the time that God has allowed them. So as I was coming, we finished, we got to a place, and I met some ladies cutting the wood of the trees, the branches of the trees. I asked the lady, how are you finding? Is this land can you sell this land? The lady looked at me because I had won funnily. He said, be serious. When you are serious, it's only for serious people. I laughed. I said, okay. I went. to the shop, came back. I asked the same lady, can you sell this property to me? The person looked at me and said, it's only for serious people. Do you have money? I say, no, I just have what you need to get this property to be ours. The lady told me, okay, it belongs to my cousin, calls the cousin, long story short, the cousin comes. When the cousin sees me, says, how are you? Fine, thank you. They thought I was joking. Gave me the account. When I went, I came back. The way they were talking to me changed. Went, came back, gave them what was theirs, took the property. It was after taking the property that I asked. One person came and told me, you know, this place is a good place. Just talking from nowhere. This place, I asked, what was this place? Say the place was a coffee plantation. The place was a coffee plantation. The voice reminded me, coffee plantation. Coffee plantation. Long story short, we started building. We built Studio A, this is Studio B. We built offices, we built the main studio that can be able to accommodate 600 people and an overflow of another 600 people outside. We built something that if I would go the way of working and doing what we have invested there was no hope. What I'm saying is the truth of my experience. This is how I've grown. I'll be a liar to say, I did business, no. The only business I did was to pray and to fast. And these are the fruits it brought.
Thank you for watching. And if this video has blessed you, please like, kindly subscribe, and also tap on the notification bell so you can stay notified and updated on our new videos. And please do not forget to share the link to people so we can bless more people. And most importantly, we want to know how this video has blessed you under the comment section.
Don't forget to subscribe.